Guys, if you want to support these projects in the future, please head over to Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can now buy the Inspire Change t-shirts and much more. And also hit the join button down below for exclusive membership benefits. But before that, let's jump into the highlight.
Vision is absolutely essential. There was a time in our business recently where I keep my vision in my journal. I map my business vision on a whiteboard that sits in my office. I have a vision for my relationship. I have a vision for my life. I have a vision for my bank account. I have a vision for my impact. I have a vision for the work that I'm doing in the human evolution space. And I think with everything that happened with COVID-19 that year, I lost sight of my vision. We moved into so many pivots and just really trying to serve our community and make sure we could survive as a business. And there was such a disruption of the day-to-day norms that we were used to, which ended up being a tremendous blessing. But I was sharing with my wife, who runs and is president of our company. I said, things have felt stagnant recently, ever since January when we did the 2021 Bulletproof Business Challenge. And this was now 7 months later. And she said, yeah, things have felt stagnant. They felt uninspired. They felt like low energy. And I went into the garage a couple of nights later and I saw the whiteboard that was normally in my office, which was in the garage because we were back in our second home and we had moved. And I looked at the whiteboard and it was the last time that I had done it. And the last month was the January with the 2021 Bulletproof Business Challenge. And it shocked me.
Actually thinking about a task concretely and saying, this is just saying out loud, this is what I want. And breaking down to steps and saying, and these are the things I'm gonna make to make it happen. Those things actually help. They break down an untangible kind of goal, which is, I wanna have a kid. For that, I need to work on this, and I need to talk to my person about that. And you kind of start. So that sense, it has. And I would say there's some evidence that in some domains, actually just thinking, just imagining does make a difference. I'll give you an example that's concrete. There's a study, I forget by whom, it's going to come back to me maybe, that shows that if you're trying to diet, to not eat, and actually before you go to the supermarket to buy food, you sit, you close your eyes, and you really imagine eating and opening the box and kind of taking a bite and chewing and so on. Doing this thing actually activates some part of your brain to an extent that it actually makes your body respond as if you've eaten something, and it lowers the hunger. So when you go to the supermarket, instead of just taking the entire kind of junk food shelf and putting in your box, you will be a little bit fuller, a little bit less likely to be tempted. So in that sense, there are some kind of concrete things that you can do that actually affect metabolism and physiology, so that you actually are a little bit hungrier, a little less hungrier, a little bit fuller.
And what's interesting is that, vision and imagination are so powerful because the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you give yourself permission to envision a future, you literally start building memories in your brain of events that haven't happened yet. You start to create neural networks of your future. And so that change in your brain that holds the vision of the future now is what starts to tune you into the thoughts and the ideas that will bridge the gap between the now and the future. It begins to alter your perception so that you pay attention to things that will bridge the gap between now and the future. You begin to program your unconscious mind with that future. And so you start making decisions that you're not even aware of that become the bridge between now and that future. And then of course, we live in a vibrational reality. Your brain is this electrical output device. Every time you think, you're creating electrical signals in your brain that's interacting and transmitting with an energetic reality.
Most of life happened in the past and it's stored in memories, and we are in the present only for about a second and a half. Then everything we think about ourselves is just a set of neural firings in the brain that carry information from the past. And if someone can tinker with those, they change not just a memory, kind of, okay, now instead of having chosen the salmon, I made you think you chose the steak. Maybe you're a vegetarian. And by me changing the salmon to the steak, or let's make it easier, salad to steak, I just shook your entire identity. And if I create a memory of you yesterday having a steak, because it leaks into your current existence, you change your entire story of me being a vegetarian, which plays into you being a liberal, which plays into you being maybe a Democrat voter, which like suddenly kind of a small change could kind of perpetuate an entire different narrative from your perspective. In that sense, what is known as false memories are not just, okay, I remember it was 2 and it was actually 3 p.m. It could be, I remember I was in this place and I wasn't in that place. And I remember that I said those things and I didn't say those things. And it could be an entire thing. And we know that the brain is capable of that. Because of this idea that we load memories, use them and overwrite them, there's a kind of a small window of time where the memory needs to be resaved. And if someone intercepts the memory while it's being resaved and changes it, or changes something by directly getting to your memory and intercepting them in your head, you can wake up a different person.
You can go back to high school science and understand that the table that's in front of you is 99.9% nothing, right? It's our tactile senses and our vision and our olfactory and our taste and our hearing. It's like browsers that are interpreting this matrix-like fluctuating energetic reality into a physical reality. So when you think thoughts, you're essentially adding to that energetic pool. And so that vision is also contributing to you outputting energy that's creating coincidences and synchronicities to bridge the gap between now and that vision. The vision is essential. And it reminds me of a quote that I think was attributed to Dwight D. Eisenhower that said, "Plans are useless, planning is essential." Every vision board I ever created, and I like to create the timing, January through December, what I'm going to achieve, when I'm going to do it. Never have I ever achieved even close to everything on that vision board. But what I did achieve was amazing. But the absence of the vision board for just 6 months in my life brought everything to a screeching halt. And that, again, just shocks me. Like, it's profound. And so sometimes people will get vision board burnout because they're like, well, I'm creating the vision, but that's not what I actually created in my life. And I would say that's not actually really the important part. Just keep holding the vision. Over time, you'll get there. But in the meantime, you'll create extraordinary things that you absolutely love because you're going through the planning process for your future, right? The actual results of the plan is real. You know, there was a study done in 2009. It was featured in Time magazine at Harvard, where they brought in piano players to play the piano. They played the piano and they studied what parts of their brain lit up. Then they had them come back and imagine playing the piano, and essentially the same parts of the brain lit up. And so when you're willing to engage in vision, most people get stopped because they're like, I don't know how. So I'm going to wait till I know how to really indulge my future. But if you're willing to indulge your future now, you begin to create neural networks of a future memory that hasn't happened yet. Right? So now you're walking around with your future between your ears. And so people get it backwards. They're like, well, I don't know how I'm going to create a successful business, or I don't know how I'm going to have an amazing relationship, or I don't know how I'm going to find my soulmate. And so because I don't know how, I'm not going to indulge imagination or vision. And so they end up getting stuck because that how that they're looking for comes through the changing of your brain as a result of imagination.
If you enjoyed the project, guys, none of this is possible without your support at Mulliganbrothers.com, and using that join button down below, you can buy the t-shirts that help support these projects. We take our film crew with us all the way around the world to find the best and inspirational teachers, stories, and without you, it's just not possible. So thank you so much to everybody who's done that so far. And if you are doing that, please hit us up on Instagram and let us know. Say hello at Jordan Mulligan Brother. I will get back to you, and all the support is appreciated. Have a blessed and productive day. The whole team just wants to say thank you, and yeah, go inspire some change, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.